Hello, good morning, all of you. Welcome to Lakshya Academy. This is the part 11 of chemical coordination and integration. In this part, we are going to learn thyroid gland, which is given in our state test book. Thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland. What is the smallest endocrine gland? The smallest endocrine gland is pituitary gland. What is the largest endocrine gland? Thyroid gland. What is the origin of this gland? Endodermal in origin. What is the origin of pineal gland? Ectodermal. What is the origin of hypothalamus? Ectodermal. What is the origin of pituitary gland? Ectodermal. But thyroid gland is endodermal in origin. It lies very close. It lies close to the body surface. This gland lies very close to our body surface. Okay, what is the largest gland? The largest endocrine gland? Thyroid gland. What is the largest gland of our body? Liver. What is the smallest endocrine gland of our body? Pituitary gland. What is the origin of pituitary gland? Ectodermal. What is the origin of thyroid gland? Endodermal. And this gland lies very close to the body surface in the neck near the junction of larynx and trachea. Okay, I showed you that one in the previous parts. It close very close to the larynx and trachea. This is the larynx and this is the trachea present at the junction between these two, and it is near the junction of which two parts? Near the junction of larynx and trachea. Larynx and trachea. Thyroid consists of two lobes. How many lobes are there? Two lobes. Imagine this is one lobe and this is the another lobe. These two lobes are joined by a thin flap of connective tissue. This is called isthmus. What is this one? Isthmus. Okay, here you can see isthmus. Next one, the lobes lie on either side of the trachea. For example, here is the windpipe, trachea. Okay, one is on one side of the trachea, the other one is the other side of the trachea. One on either side of the trachea, and extend upwards, and it is extending upwards, extended upwards. Okay, it extended upwards along the sides of the larynx. Here there is a larynx here. It extends upwards on either side of the along the sides of the larynx. The complete thyroid gland somewhat resembles butterfly with its wings spread, H shape. Okay, it looks like a butterfly with its wings spread. Butterfly with the wings spread. For in the middle part, isthmus. This is the imagine. This is the isthmus. This is one lobe and this is another lobe. And this drawing I am writing here H letter. This is one lobe. This is another lobe. And between these two, this is the isthmus, H shape. Okay, the lobes of the thyroid gland contain many hollow spherical structures called follicles. This is one follicle, this is one follicle, this is one follicle. These are the called functional units of the thyroid gland. And interspersed between the follicles, spreading between the follicles, what are present here are the cells. Okay, these cells are called, these are called C cells. These C cells produce one hormone called tyrocalcitonin, TCT, otherwise called calcitonin. Each follicle is filled with a sticky substance. What do we call that sticky substance? Colloid. Okay, thyroid gland is composed of follicles and stromal tissue. Okay, follicles as well as stromal tissue. Okay, each thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells. Okay, this is one follicular cell, this is one follicular cell, this is one follicular cell. These all are, what are these all are? Okay, these all are follicular cells, and which are the cuboidal epithelial cells. Follicular cells enclosing, these follicular cells enclosing a cavity. This is the cavity. The cavity is enclosed by follicular cells. The follicular cells produce two major hormones, namely tetrahydrothyronin or thyroxine. This is a tetrahydrothyronin, that means T4, which is otherwise called thyroxine. Very important. T4 is also called a thyroxine, and T3 triiodothyronin. These two are the iodothyronins, which are lipid soluble hormones. Okay, these are lipid soluble hormones. Iodine is necessary for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the gland. T4 and thyroid have same endocrine functions. Both of them have, they do not have different endocrine function. They have same endocrine functions. Okay, what are the functions of these hormones? Thyroid hormones are also called calorigenic hormones. Very important point. What do we call it? Calorigenic hormones. Okay, these are also called calorigenic hormones. Okay, what do we call them? Calorigenic hormones, and play an important role in the regulation of BMR. First point, they are also called calorigenic hormone. Next one, they play an important role in the regulation of BMR. Two, second point, BMR, I am GMR. This is BMR, basal metabolic rate. Okay, the rate of consumption of, what is BMR? The rate of consumption of oxygen for unit weight of the body at rest. Now your body is at rest, maybe when the time when you watch this one. Okay, how much oxygen is consumed by your tissues? Okay, how much oxygen is consumed by your tissues at rest? That is called basal metabolic rate. It changes when you do exercise. Your BMR changes. In pregnant women, BMR changes. In old people, the BMR is different compared to the young ones. And thyroid hormones increase the basal metabolic rate by stimulating the use of cellular oxygen to produce ATP. Okay, thyroid hormones increase BMR, basal metabolic rate increase. They increase BMR by stimulating the use of cellular oxygen to produce oxygen, ATP. Sorry. As cells produce and use more ATP, more heat is given off and the temperature of the body rises. In this way, they maintain normal body temperature of the homeoderms. What are homeoderms? Homeoderms are also called as, can you tell me? Homeoderms are also called endotherms, are warm-blooded animals. These hormones stimulate the process of erythropoiesis. Very, very important one. What is meant by erythropoiesis? The process of formation of RBC. The process of formation of RBC is called erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis is the formation of RBC. For the formation of this RBC, okay, cortisol is important, and testosterone is important, and thyroxine is important, and erythropoietin hormone is important. These all hormones help in the process of formation of RBC, which is called erythropoiesis. Very, very important, these four hormones. The thyroid hormones control metabolism of carbohydrate. This is also very important. CPM, CPF. metabolism of carbohydrates, metabolism of proteins, and metabolism of fats. Okay, that is also controlled by this hormone. And thyroid hormones control metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And maintenance of water and electrolyte balance is also influenced by water and electrolyte balance by this hormone thyroxine, and some other hormones help in maintaining water and electrolyte balance. Next one is calcitonin. The parafollicular cells of thyroid produce a polypeptide hormone. What are parafollicular cells? For example, this is one thyroid follicle, this is one thyroid follicle, this is one follicle, this is one follicle. Here there are some cells, these are called parafollicular cells. The parafollicular cells of thyroid produce a polypeptide hormone called thyrocalcitonin. TCT, it is abbreviated as TCT. It plays an important role in maintenance of proper levels of calcium and phosphates in the blood. It decreases the blood calcium by promoting the deposition of calcium in bones. Thus, it counters the effect of parathormone. It counters the parathormone. Parathormone decreases the calcium levels. Parathormone decreases the calcium levels. Okay, decrease calcium levels, but this hormone increases calcium. These two hormones, they maintain homeostasis of calcium in our blood. This is called hypercalcemic hormone because it is increasing the calcium levels. How can it increase the calcium levels in our blood? One, okay, it increases the it helps to in maintaining the important role in maintaining proper levels of calcium and phosphates in the blood. It decreases the blood calcium by promoting, okay, this hormone decreases the calcium level by promoting deposition of calcium in the bone. That means they are helping in the mineralization of the bone. Thus it counters the effect of parathormone. Parathormone increases calcium level, this hormone decreases the calcium level. These two together, they maintain the proper level of calcium and phosphates in our blood. Higher calcium content in the plasma stimulate the secretion of calcitonin. Okay, negative feedback control mechanism. Whenever there is a high level of calcium in our blood, this hormone is released by thyroid gland. Okay, next one. This is pituitary gland, and this is about the what happens if thyroxine, because of hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism, what disorders would develop. Okay, we will talk about this one in the next part.